Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'll be showing you which game passes to buy and which you shouldn't buy in Oil Warfare Tycoon. Okay, so first in line we got the Speedy Oil Extractor. This one, we're just gonna go really quick. This one is pretty simple. The answer is yes. This is worth it because it pretty much skips the most boring part of this game, which is when you're on floor 1, don't have any of the good guns, and really can't enjoy yourself all that much. But now we're on to a thing that I wouldn't recommend, and that is 2 times cash, because it costs a full 500 Robux. I'm not gonna lie, you're probably better off just buying 20,000 Robux every time you rebirth, just because, well, I mean, permanent 2 times cash is not useful whatsoever later in the game. Okay, next up we got our first gun, and that is the Desert Eagle. This is the cheapest weapon you can buy with Robux at only 50 cents. Honestly, I'm split on this gun. You could buy it or you could not buy it. That is because if you're going up against people without armor, this gun absolutely shreds, being able to 1 shot in the head and 2 shot in the body. That is crazy, but that is only if they don't have armor. Which means this is pretty much only useful if people are on a rush to go after you, and so they don't even bother getting their loadout. They just grab a quick gun, head in their car, and come after you. You are set with this gun, especially because it does almost as much damage as snipers, yet is semi-automatic. So honestly, this one is up to you. I mean, you could get it or you couldn't get it. It really just doesn't matter all that much, you know? Okay, now we're on to the second gun, and that is the FAL Heavy. This gun is absolutely worth it. Although it is slightly expensive at 150 Robux, I have to say this is absolutely worth it. Because this gun can 2-shot. If you shoot 1 bullet into the head and then 1 bullet into the chest, they will die. That is absolutely insane. Like, the time to kill is only matched by a shotgun and a sniper. The only guns that don't cost Robux and are about as good as the FAL Heavy is probably the PPSH and maybe the Spaz 12, but that's about it. I mean, it's overall a really, really good gun, and you should definitely try buying it. Okay, and now we're on to the Explosive Sniper. I didn't even bother buying this one. It is just so overly priced. It completely takes the fun out of this game, being too easy. You don't even have to hit them, and it'll still do absolute massive damage. It's also able to 1-shot. I mean, it's overall just not good whatsoever. Completely takes the fun out of, especially for like 20 bucks. I mean, the only reason I'd recommend this is if you're trying to troll, or if you're like brain dead levels of bad at this game, then you might want to try it out. And next up, we're on to the 2 times health. This one I didn't buy, but that's only because I ran out of that Bobucks. I mean, this is definitely worth it. Just being able to survive a couple extra bullets can absolutely change whether you win or lose a gunfight. This is definitely worth it for pretty much anybody. But now we're on to probably my favorite game pass in this whole game, especially for how cheap it is, and that is the Speedy Humvee. This is just too overpowered. For 25 Robux, you get a vehicle that can go pretty much as fast as you want. There is no place on the map where you can max out this car. It just keeps accelerating, which makes, say someone killed you on the other side of the map, like, you can just head over there and like, you're just there pretty much at the snap of a finger. Now we're on to a game pass that I wouldn't recommend you buying, and that is the Mi24 Helicopter, which, I mean, it's sort of the same thing as the Explosive Sniper. It completely takes the fun out of this whole game. I mean, it costs a ton of Robux. A solid 10 bucks is not something you'd be spending on a game pass usually. It also just, it's too easy. Like, there's nothing people can do, especially when all it takes is like 1/4 of a second and then they're instantly dead. And you're just in like a practically infinite health, like, killing machine. It is just not fun whatsoever to use it. And now we're on to another thing, which is the exact same as the Mi24 Helicopter. This is just not worth it in any world. It is so unbelievably cheap at 100 Robux. And yet there's nothing people can do to counter it. You're just inside a giant steel machine, like remotely operating a gun turret. And people can't shoot you, but you can shoot them. It's just not fair whatsoever. And I mean, like I said before, it's not worth it unless you're really, really, really garbage at this game, or just want to do some trolling. And now we're on to something which I also don't recommend, and that is the 10,000 shield health. This is just not worth it whatsoever. I mean, if people really want to get through your shield, it's not like double the health is really going to stop them, whether that's from a helicopter, a nuke, or like even just a shotgun. I mean, double the time isn't really going to deter most people, and I definitely wouldn't recommend getting it. I'm sort of seeing a trend here. Now we're on to another thing I don't recommend, and that is the tactical JLTV. This is a garbage, absolute garbage version of the MRAV. It's a turret which is supposed to be shielded, but like, it's not exactly very shielded. You're still completely open from the sides and from the top. Like, that is not stopping anyone. And the machine gun does almost, like, it doesn't. The time to kill is extremely long, and it's just overall kind of garbage, and would not recommend getting it, even for just the 50 Robux that it costs. And now finally we're on to probably one of my favorite game passes, and that is the Barrett. This gun absolutely puts in the work. It one-shots in the head no matter what, and 2 shots in the body. This is just, it also has no scope sway whatsoever. Like, look at that. There's almost nothing there. Also, the accuracy, it absolutely puts in the work. I mean, this is absolutely the perfect sniper for long-range sniping. Like, there's nothing they can do about you when you have this. And most of the time, they won't even see it coming, because this is the perfect sniper for making those cross-map shots. Like, you could relatively easily just snipe someone way, way over there on top of that with this gun. It really isn't that difficult whatsoever. Okay, and now we got the World War II double health. So this gives you double the health and an M1 Garand. It's also in the World War II bunker. And, I mean, for double the price of the normal double health, you just get the double health, one extra thing, and that is the M1 Garand. And it's not like the M1 Garand is very good anyways. It's kind of garbage, if I'm being honest. And now we're on to the last game pass, which is the destroyer drone. This drone, I mean, none of the drones are really that good. They're so easy to hide from. They're so expensive, especially you need to get quite far into the late game to even use them, and they're just overall not that good. They do barely any damage, and I mean, I definitely would not recommend getting this, especially for 500 Robux. This is not worth it at all, even a little bit. But anyways, that's been all the game passes, so that's it for today's video. So make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.